This magazine's story is about courage, understanding, and a fierce will to live a normal life. It's the story of Raun Kaufman, diagnosed as a young child with autism, the developmental disability that medical science is constantly struggling to understand.
When I was little, there was less than 1 in 10,000 children with autism and on the autism spectrum. Now, the common statistic recited is there's 1 in 150. I just read that in Newsweek. And that's in the last decade, and even more so in the last 5 years, there's been a tremendous explosion. It's really become an epidemic. At a young age, I was diagnosed as severely autistic. I actually had a tested IQ of below 30. And what I would do is I would spend my days spinning plates, rocking back and forth, flapping my hands, and other repetitive, exclusive type behaviors like that. I was really in every way in my own world. You know, I had no language, no communication whatsoever. And my parents were told, look, you know, we're really sorry, he has severe autism. This is how he is, and this is really how he's going to be for the rest of his life. They took me home, and they developed their own home-based, child-centered program where they worked with me for a little over 3 years.
We actually valued Raun as our teacher and literally joined him in his world. And little by little, that little boy slowly let us in.
This child went from having absolutely no connection with anybody to a very outgoing, very talkative, very gregarious, considered to have a near genius IQ, and there are no signs about Raun where you would have any idea of his past.
Maybe I could find out how and why.
I see. Would you like to know how and why?
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't want to say, you know, everything, but I just really like to have a girlfriend at this point, and I don't.
I really recovered completely from my autism, you know, without any trace of my former condition, and went on to, you know, live a typical life and go to school and have friends and have girlfriends and go on dates and do the whole thing, and then ultimately went on to graduate from Brown University with a degree in biomedical ethics. After my recovery, my father, who's an author, Barry Neal Kaufman, he wrote the book Sunrise, The Miracle Continues, and that detailed my story, and that book in 1979 was turned into a television movie, and that was seen by millions of people around the globe.
Where do you go? Where?
It was a real trip, and I was 6 or 7 years old, and I'm watching this little kid play me and these actors play my parents. Ultimately, people started coming to my parents and asking, how can we use these principles and strategies with our own children? In the BBC documentary, I Want My Little Boy Back, Jordan, who's the little boy in that, he was really able to take that and run with it. It was amazing.
I think it must be so lonely for him, not able to communicate. It must be frightening for a little boy to be sort of locked away.
He reacts in the same way, and we don't know what he wants. He could go on like this for 10 minutes or 2 hours. Oh, it's really distressing.
He's never been able to do anything for himself.
Just feel a bit hot enough.
Jordan had never seen a microwave before they came to America.
What you're seeing is really an example of these children have incredible talent and are incredibly intelligent and can pick up a lot of this stuff that we might think is beyond them if we only get them interested and engaged in our world.
When I was like autistic, I used to like hide in the couch because we had this big sofa, and it was like, and it felt really nice because when you jump into it, there was like, it felt like it was sort of pitch black. So, and also what I liked to do was spin sticks. I used to spin them all the time.
Kyle spent a fair amount of time, probably 30%, 40% of his day, immersed in the cushions of our couch. It'd be the first thing he did when he got up in the morning. and we would pull him out of there at night to help put him to bed. We had no idea what was going on with Kyle. We couldn't decide if it was behavior problems, if we were doing something wrong. We just couldn't seem to connect with this child the way we did with our first child.
Many of the children that we work with who are on the autism spectrum are highly, what you might call, overstimulated. It's like they're in a mall all day. So because of that, we have something called the Sunrise Program Playroom.
They built this room, and I played inside the room basically all day.
This room is a room where there's no control battles, where we're not saying, hey, stop, don't do that, I asked you not to do that. We're really saying, hey, this is your room. We find that this playroom is really, really key.
We went to Sheffield, Massachusetts, and we were with an incredible group of people. We were with 40 other parents of children with autism, Asperger's, ADD, from severe autism to moderate autism, which is how we would describe Kyle's diagnosis. And all these people shared a common hope and belief in their children, and a lot of fear and frustration and anxiety over what to do. The program wasn't just about Kyle. It asked a lot of us. We had to get onto his level. I had to get on the floor and play with him. Once we started the program, within a matter of months, we could see him start to react to us, start to look at us.
He started to hug us, tell us he loved us, things that he had never been able to do before.
Then he started to communicate with us. Then he started to show interest in friends, playing games, didn't have to win every game, didn't have to spin his sticks, didn't have to climb under blankets, didn't have to climb under the couch. And within a couple of years, it became evident that he was going to become a fully normal kid.
Ultimately, autism is, the way we see it, is really an interactional disorder, a disorder of relationships. These children have difficulty creating connections and relationships with the people around them. Me and Kyle Westfall are just examples of what these children are capable of.
Now, I get to do a whole bunch of things. I have my own room, and I'm just like, I'm free. I'm done.
Not all of these children are going to turn out like me, which, by the way, is absolutely true. Every child is different. We don't make promises. With that said, I still don't get the whole false hope message. I just don't get it. I don't get who decided that a life sentence was better than an outstretched hand and an open door.
You have to deal with it. And you have to do a bunch of things, even though you don't want to, you just have to deal with it. And soon enough, it turns like, hey, I'm normal now. And so I've listened, and I got through a bunch of stuff, and here I am.
And if you want more information about the Sunrise program, you can visit the website at www.sunrise.org.